guys should be working at Six Flags right now. We're gonna fight, all right?
Well, you should be working at Six Flags right now.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna kick it off with a song. Remember, you guys are at a comedy show, all right? Let's keep the conversations minimum. Texting is fine, I guess, but let's not take phone calls.
Hello?
All right. 5 o'clock this Friday night, a month of ignoring the RSVP. You said, what the hell, let's grab some Indian food. Watch 2 white kids attempt comedy. One of them looks 12 and I'm pretty sure the other one is a girl. Well, this show is free, and though your tab is not on me, you should get yourself a drink to swirl. But if you choose to be sober, please don't choose to be offended. Just pray for us on Sunday to God. Don't let it ruffle your feathers, you know humor is flawed. Oh, don't get your panties in a wad. Then at 8:15 this Friday night, you're like, oh shit, there's that comedy show. So you yell to your spouse, get the fuck out the house, babe, I don't care what you're wearing, let's go. Now you're sitting in seats, ordering things to eat, and wondering what time does this end. Well, just sit back and laugh, take all the sticks out your ass, we'll get you out a little after 10. Look, we're really good people, it just comes with the job. We wouldn't call them jokes if we didn't know they were wrong. But if you want to be stubborn, you don't have to applaud. Just don't get your panties in a wad. Don't get your panties in a wad. Thank you, Leo, for that opening set. Hello, Nova. How are we doing? Thank you guys for coming out to my 2nd annual show. I remember a couple weeks ago, Leo had texted me that he just finished his set, and he's like, oh God, I'm such a slacker, right? And it puts me in an awkward position, because now I have to text him back, no sweat, man. I mean, it's your first show. Take your time. Pretend like I'm not staring at an empty Word document, having a full-blown panic attack. It's good, it's good. I don't know what it is, maybe it's a girl thing, but all the female comedians I've talked to agree, it just takes us longer to come up with jokes. I love Leo's little bit about the bath. I was sitting in the bathtub the other day and I was like, oh my God, I gotta tell Leo, right? So I pull out my phone and I start writing him a message and I'm like, hey Leo, I'm in the tub, I'm thinking of you. And then I read it over and I was like, let's not creep the shit out of our friends today. Oh my gosh. I hope this isn't going to bother you guys. I bring notes up on stage. I bring notes everywhere. I bring notes to open mics. I bring notes when I hang out with friends. My memory is so shot though. It's so shot. But I try not to beat myself up about it too much. My parents dropped me a lot as a kid. But in their defense, I was a pretty heavy 12-year-old, so. By the way, again, big thank you to Tandoori Nights. They helped me put on a great show last year, another wonderful show this year. Let's see, a lot changes in a year. A lot happens, right? I had a fracture in my brain. That's not a fact. That's a hypothesis on why I thought it was a good idea to go away to art school. That's where I was. I was at an art school outside of New York City, not studying art. I think the ad for art school just universally should be Were you kind of a loser in high school? Are the Facebook support groups just not enough? Do you need a place to express your strong, delusional opinions among other outraged peers? Enroll this fall at a campus near you. Lord. Everyone's angry at art school, you know? But you know who's not angry? Is the kids actually studying art. No, it's the theater kids, the performing type. The ones who drop $20,000 a year to dye their hair neon and boycott deodorant. Alright? These are the kind of kids I was around. And you know why they're angry? I figured it out. It's because they were never planning on going to art school. No, but as of 5-10 years ago, circuses started being deemed more unethical. Look, you guys, I'm a little bit of an asshole. It's kind of easier if you just roll with it. Let's see. Let me tell you guys the kind of shit that goes down at art school. So I'm in the hallway last semester and I see this janitor. He's trying to tell this student, like, she can't bring her support dog into the bathroom. So he tells the student, he's like, look, I'm sorry, you can't bring him in here. And this girl goes off. I can't bring him? I can't bring him? Okay, just so you know, gender is a social construct. And the janitor's just frazzled. He's like shaking his head. He's like, no, you do understand it's because he's black. Is that it? Unreal. Unfriggin' believable. She's like, come on, Foo-Foo, or whatever his fucking name was. And that was it. They left. So now, me and the janitor are just standing there. He like rolls his eyes. I just shrug my shoulders. Tie my support dog outside the bathroom like any normal fucking person. Oh my goodness. My family's from upstate New York, so being at school, I made a lot more trips up there, a lot more trips to visit the grandparents. But you know, after a while, I started dreading the trips, right? Because my grandma, she's still a little conservative, and every time she'd see me, without fail, first thing she'd say is, God, Alexandra, you just look so gay. And I just want to tell her, like, Grandma, we have the same haircut. I've been being more open about being bisexual lately. I came out to my parents this year. It made the Christmas card. They had me hold a pride flag and the family photo on the front, which was fun. And then we had one of those paragraphs on the back, you know, Alina is excelling in her sports and studies on a 6-time district championship winning cheer team and is an active member of the National Junior Honor Society. Alyssa received a Good Citizenship Award from the Virginia State Governor for her efforts on her mission trip to Haiti and has officially been recruited to play college field hockey. And Alexandra is dating a woman. Merry Christmas! It's weird because there's so many stigmas about being bisexual. You know, like people either think you're too afraid to just say you're gay, or they think you're not gay at all, and it's just something you say to make yourself sound more interesting at parties. You know, you date a girl and they think you're eventually gonna leave them for a guy. You date a guy, they think you're really down for threesomes. So many stigmas. And it gets frustrating, right? You know, everybody wants you to choose, and it comes up all the time. People will be like, no, but I mean, if you could only have one thing, rest of your life, would it be some pussy or a dick? And I'm like, yo, can I just get a venti Americano? Like I said, said it was really irritating being openly bi at first. You know, for 16, 17 years, I've tried to convince myself I'm straight, right? But now I couldn't deny it anymore. I was falling head over heels for this girl. Pause for a second. You know that saying, like, head over heels? Like, if somebody says they're falling head over heels for you, like, that's not a very impressive thing. You know, most people spend the majority of their day with their head over their heels. You know, I feel like the saying should be heels over head. Like, if somebody said they're falling heels over head for you, like, that would be a little more interesting. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so now here I am, like, you know, I'm not gonna be a bisexual. I'm trying to convince myself, all right, well, I must be a lesbian, you know? You know, it's got such a nice ring to it, lesbian. I tell people I'm a bisexual, they're like, oh my God, what is that, a disease? I'm not gonna deal with that shit. I'll be a lesbian, right? Because they don't have any stigmas. None. I wasn't comfortable with myself. I wanted to just commit to something. So I'm going through this identity crisis where I wake up every day and I go to school and I flirt with pretty girls and I'm like, all right, I'm definitely just gay. And then some gorgeous man walks by and I'm like, wait, shit, do these cargo pants make my butt look good? So I'm not proud of it, but this is a song I wrote to help myself kind of cope with that. I wanna be in their group, yeah, I wanna fit in with the dykes. Dressed like a douchey teenage boy, wearing my hair gelled up in spikes. I like to talk in a deep voice when I'm trying to pick up chicks. But no matter how hard I set my mind to it, I just can't give up dick. I wanna be a lesbian, but I'm just a little bi. As much as I really, really love girls, I also like guys. I like to sit with my legs spread like I'm airing out my balls. I like to spend all my money buying cute babes alcohol. And I'll puff out my chest at anyone but shorter than me. But as soon as I see one real hot dude, then I'm absolutely weak. I wanna be a lesbian, but I'm just a little bi. As much as I really, really love girls, I also like guys. Quiero estar lesbiana, pero estoy un poco bi. Por más que le muy quiero chicas, además me gustan guys. Thank you. My girlfriend at the time did not find that song as funny. I did have a girlfriend. We dated for about 6 months, but we broke up. And it's okay. At the end of the day, I mean, we really just wanted different things. Like, she still wanted to be in a relationship, and I didn't. But you gotta be careful when you break up with a girl, you know? You have to know you mean it. Like when I break up with a guy, I'm never really too scared because I have it in the back of my head that no matter how much of a psycho bitch he thinks I am, I can just text him like, I'm pregnant, and we're guaranteed at least one more dinner to figure out what we're gonna do. I had roommates in New York. I never saw them that much, but I do know they existed because every week the fridge would continuously be full of moldy food, right? But if I just took it, that's stealing, right? you know? So I came up with this system where I'd kind of scope out what I want after each grocery trip, and I'd gradually move it to the back of the fridge until it get close to that expiration date. And then one day I just open up the fridge door, I'd be like, woo, what stinks? And I'd pull out whatever it was, and I'd be like, oh my God, you guys, this is rotting. This is absolutely foul. And they'd be ready to throw it in the trash. I'm like, no, this can't even sit in the kitchen. I am gonna take this out to the dumpster. And then I take it outside, and I'd squat down and just eat it like a fucking raccoon animal. Oh my goodness, it was definitely a very lonely time living in New York. I've always been one to easily experience loneliness. Like I remember one time my family had went out of town for the week, and my dad had left me this list of things I was supposed to do. I don't think you realize how much you crave companionship until you start getting excited to empty a dehumidifier every day. I was leaving work that week like, peace out guys, I gotta get home before the dehumidifier overflows. That's right, something is depending on me. If I'm not at work or I'm not in class, I'm usually by myself. And let me tell you, being alone will get the best of you. Holy shit. Like, has anybody else gotten to that point where you pour a bowl of Rice Krispies, like, just to make background noise? You know those parents in the Rice Krispie commercials who are like, listen kids, can't you hear Snap, Crackle, and Pop talking? They weren't trying to be cute, they were fucking insane! They were desperate for social interaction, these Snap, Crackle crackheads. Legitimately thought their cereal's talking back to them, and their dumb kids are like, yeah, Mom, I hear it too. You know, there's a deeper meaning in these commercials, I'll tell you. I had one person to talk to after my ex and I broke up on campus, and I met her as one typically meets their gynecologist. You know, they think they have maybe a yeast infection, they go in, they get some cream, and then they follow up a few days later, let them know if it went away or not. Well, Dr. Lisa follows up with me after a few days, and I told her no, I still had the infection. So I go back in and I get more medication, and I don't know how the conversation started, but we end up talking for about 40 minutes about literally everything. And it was nice, you know, and I left and life went on. But what do you know, 4 days later, the yeast infection's back. So I make another appointment, I go in, I get the medication, we're talking, we're laughing, and I think I'm starting to see a real friendship in the making. But that would be weird, right? So I leave, and life goes on. And then a week later, I get another yeast. Look, guys, I'm not very religious, but you know when it's like God's giving you a sign? So I go back in, and I get the medication, and we're talking again, we're chatting it up, and before I leave, I decide, you know what, fuck it, like, I'm just gonna ask. I'm like, Dr. Lisa, I love talking to you, and honestly, I consider you one of my closest friends. Would you maybe want to get brunch or something sometime? And she's like, oh, no, Alexandra, that would be really unprofessional. I was like, yeah, you're right. Let's just leave our encounters to you looking up my vagina. Yeah, brunch was the weird part. So I walk out. I'm a little bummed, but life goes on. You guys, true story, I had to go back to the gynecologist 6 times in the next 2 months. Do you know how mortifying? That's 10 times total. It is mortifying to have to go to a gynecologist that turned down a brunch date and try to prove that no, you're not self-inducing yeast infections to spend more time with her. Oh my God, I would never do that. I would never do that. I hate going to the doctor. Last time I went to the doctor, they had me put on this demeaning ass paper cloak, right? Sit on a bench and fill out a sheet about my feelings. Are you depressed? Well, there's parchment paper up my ass crack, so do you hate yourself? No, maybe. How many times a week do you cry? 9. Glad we resolved that, right? And then the doctor comes in and she's got that flashlight thing. She's looking in your eyes like, okay, yep, you have pupils. She has you stick out your tongue, it's still pink. And then they tell you haven't grown, but you gained weight in case you don't have a mirror. Oh my God! And they hit you in the hammer or in the knee with that hammer thing to see how quickly you'd react if someone hit you in the knee. And then they take that quick peek at your pubes and they do a blood test you're never gonna get the results back for, and you're done. You're done. Also, they're like so rude on the way out. Like, please just take one sticker. Those are really for the children. What a fucking waste of time. Oh my God. I hate paying for the doctor. I hate paying for anything, really. I think growing up around my parents made me cheap. You know, this year we celebrated Christmas in January. Do you know why we celebrated Christmas in January? Because my dad's tree guy raised the price on Christmas trees, and everyone knows Christmas isn't Christmas without a Christmas tree, Genesis 4:19. So, anyway, my dad's not gonna buy a tree because his tree guy raised the price and he's gotta teach him a lesson, right? So what we did was we waited until January 2nd, after New Year's, when our neighbors dragged their tree out to the curb. And then me and my sisters snuck out in the dark like the friggin' Grinch, dragged their tree back into our house. Right, and then here's the best part. Now here's my mom calling me from the grocery store. She's like, I just got 7 boxes of candy canes for $1. Isn't that a steal? 7 boxes of candy canes. I said, Mom, what do you need 7 boxes of candy canes for? She said, for the tree. For the tree? The tree doesn't have any friggin' pine needles left on the branches. So here, if you guys want to help us take that after the show, feel free. Lord, oh my God. I call my mom so much. I call my mom a lot. I remember when I had a flip phone, my mom was number 1 on my speed dial. I had my dad on speed dial, you know, the house phone, and then there's like that 4th spot you give to whatever one of your friends you were like least mad at that week. It was a big deal to be on someone's speed dial, you know? Like, you're that important to them. It's just kind of sad now because like kids today are never gonna know what speed dial means. You know, nobody's special anymore. Everyone's speed dial. Siri, call mom. Calling mom. Speed dial. Siri, call Lisa. Calling Dr. Lisa, Gynecology Practices, White Plains, New York. Speed dial. I'm kind of a pessimist. Have you guys ever noticed? I think everything's out to get me. Like, for example, I'll be at the grocery store and I'll think the automated voice at my self-checkout machine is ruder than like all the others. You know, it's like, scan coupons now. No, fuck you. I will scan my coupons when I damn well please. Enter quantity of Haas avocados. No, suck a dick. Enter your own quantity. I swear every time I use that self-checkout thing, that light starts flashing, and attendants gotta come over, see whatever I messed up. It's always the most miserable worker in the store too, right? She's judging your whole cart, wondering why you got so many Rice Krispies in there. I had a job while I was at school. I worked in the dining hall for a bit. We weren't allowed to use terms like breakfast, lunch, or dinner because we were an anti-label campus. And nearly everyone was already vegan, but we were actually taught to shame the students who weren't. Like, this was a scripted quote. If you were working the sandwich station, this was a scripted quote I was given from my manager. It's like, hi, welcome to the Sub Shack, and what would you like to die today? Great, and would you like a side of our kettle chips? Let's see, I'm actually a pretty decent employee. Some would say I'm a goody two-shoes. You know that saying, goody two-shoes? It always kind of makes me think, like, how many shoes are the bad kids wearing? No, I've never had a boss complain about me too much. I do have one flaw, but it's not a big deal. I mean, look, everyone has to use the bathroom, right? All right, now there's bathrooms at home, and there's bathrooms at work. But nobody's getting paid hourly to use their bathroom at home, so... Look, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of cool places to drop a deuce, right? But going on the clock, I mean, does it get better than that? Taking a shit at your new boyfriend's house is a power move. So is taking a shit at a water park when you're hanging in the tidal pool. I think it'd be a lot of fun to take a shit out with my dog, though. Drunk shits at IHOP are also a really good call. Well, there's politics, there's religious chips, and there's wars overseas. But at the end of the day, I think we can all agree there's lots of cool places to let your butthole burst, but nowhere quite beats taking a shit at work. One of my favorite things to do in grade school while I was cutting class was carve my name on bathroom stalls while cleansing out my ass. And if you ever accidentally take LSD, it's fun to shit on your neighbor's roof. But that's all hypothetical, Mr. Mulligan, please don't go looking for proof. Well, there's politics, there's religious tips, and there's wars overseas. But at the end of the day, I think we can all agree there's lots of cool places to let your butthole burst, but nowhere quite beats taking a shit at work. Nowhere quite beats everyone taking a shit at work. Oh, I've been waiting for that moment. Sometimes I feel bad for my parents, you know, when they're meeting new people and somebody's like, my daughter's a heart surgeon, what does yours do? She sings songs about defecating to large groups of people. I told my parents next time somebody asks them that, like, what does your daughter do? Just tell them I'm studying for the bar, you know? We don't have to tell them what restaurant it's in, but, So art school didn't work out. And what's next, Alexandra? Everyone wants to know what's next. And the truth is, I don't know. You know, I'm out of money. I'm back at home. I'm currently a delivery driver. I work about 7 days a week. It gets to your head. You know, sometimes you're driving a friend somewhere, you take a turn too fast, and you throw your arm out, and then after you casually grope their stomach, you're like, oh, LOL, sorry, I thought you were a fountain drink. Some people find it funnier than others. A lot of things bother me on the road, you know. I hate when people swerve in the lanes. Like, it's just spatial reasoning, you know. I feel like they should put coloring pages in the DMV, you know. Like, you pass the street sign test, you pass the test with the instructor, now color the cartoon duck. You can't stay in the lines, you can't drive in the lanes. It's that simple. I don't know why this bothers me so much, but I hate when people drive with like one hand out the window. What are you reaching for? Put your fucking hand back in the car. Or like some people, they just hold their hand out, grip the roof. It's like, man, but those people, they look a little less stupid. Like, those people I can respect, right? Because you know how like roofs will just be flying off cars and shit. It's a good thing we have heroes like those holding them down. Like I said, I'm living back at home. I feel very fortunate to have parents who still let me live under their roof. I work in an area with a big population of homeless people, and you know, they stand out on the curb with their signs. It's very saddening, right? But I also work in an area with a lot of gyms and mattress stores and pop-up shops, and they also have people out on the curb holding signs, getting paychecks. I'm just saying, do what you're good at, right? You know? Sign holder. You wouldn't even have to lie on that resume. Yes, sir, I have experience. I told you, it's easier if you just accept I'm an asshole. It's like I really do feel bad. I do feel bad, but I'm a delivery driver, you know. Like I get really excited when a delivery pops up. I get to leave the store. I put on some music, and you know when you're driving and your song comes on and you're jamming out, and then the light turns red, and now you're stopped next to the median. The guy's standing there, and you gotta be respectful. Pretend like you're having a miserable day too. Yeah, we've all been there. You know, that song comes on, it's like, Sweet Caroline, bum, bum, bum. And then the light turns red. Good times never seem so good. So good. My sister's a big church goer. And they do this thing at her church where they make these food bags for the homeless. And they're nice. You know, they have a water bottle and some crackers, a fruit cup in there. And then this is my favorite. There's always like a packet of ramen in there. Like not even cup of noodles ramen, like square shaped, add the flavor packet ramen. And I don't know, I just feel like giving a homeless person a meal that they have to have a pot for hot water, a way to get the water hot, a bowl and a fork is like kind of a kick in the balls. I don't know. I don't go to church that much. Like I said, I'm not very religious. I just find it hard to believe in like a God that has a special path planned for everyone, but like also created peanut allergies. Like, that's fucking hilarious. Yeah, I was talking with a friend one time and we're like, okay, imagine like, you know, God's up there, he's predetermining everybody's life, and he's like, you know, Billy's not gonna come back from war, and like, that's sad. And Sarah, she's gonna go in her sleep, you know, get old, okay. And then Mason, you know, he's gonna be involved in some freak electrical incident, I don't fucking know. And then God got sick of being sad, right? So he took a break, he smoked a joint, he came back, he's trying to finish, he's like, all right, wait, And then Henry. What if Henry, like, eats a fucking Smucker's Uncrustables for lunch, and his body just rejects it? Oh my God, that's good. Write that down. Write that down. Yes, that's about how I thought my God impersonation would go over tonight. I realize the way I presented myself tonight. I do, I'm not proud of it. Like I said, I was trying to come up with a title for the show, and so I kept saying, is there a theme? What's the theme? So I had my sister read over my set, and she goes, well, you talk a lot about being lonely, being pessimistic, and being an asshole. You should call your show Lonely Pessimistic Asshole. I'd watch that. I was like, yeah, I'd watch that too. But I feel like there's more to it than that. So, I went to bed and I'm saying it in my head, lonely pessimistic asshole, lonely pessimistic asshole. What shaped me? How did I end up here? And then I had an epiphany. I woke up. I'm like, I know what it is. You know what it is, right? Yeah, it was yeast infections. But I was like, I can't morally put on a show called Yeast Infections. That would be a low, even for me. So I go back to bed and I'm still repeating, lonely, pessimistic asshole, yeast infections, what shaped me? Lonely, pessimistic asshole, how did I end up here? Lonely, pessimistic, what could take such a toll on a person? Lonely, art school.